That's the truth.
You
I'm
got
telling a lot of
you got to
women
turn
that
YouTube off in the background.
what
Sorry.
What do you got for me?
Okay, well, first of all, I love your channel. I think you do great work. Um, I more want to know what you
Okay.
would advise for like a early 20s. Yes, I know sometimes you don't like the early 20s women, but what you would advise for someone who has seen the struggle and doesn't want to replicate that. I didn't go to school for my degree. I work in social media marketing, but there's nothing like super stability about that, and I more want to be taken care of. So I do the necessary things, compatible and sweet and all those things. I want to know more like, I mean, in COVID, you can't really do much, but like, what do you recommend?
Okay, I'm not sure on the question because first you said something about being early 20s and that I don't like it or what?
Well, I mean, typically the younger the girl, the more you kind of like are like, all right, girl.
It depends on what she's saying.
Well, I'm saying, what
Yeah,
would you
yeah.
advise for
Hold on.
a
Well, I need to respond to that because I can't just leave that out there. When a young woman's coming in giving her opinion, that's
Mhm.
fine. But when she starts giving advice, I have to balance that out against her lived experience and her knowledge. So you can have an opinion, but when you give advice, it needs to be against something that's credible. That's when I tend to
Okay,
brush it
sorry
off.
about that.
All
I
right.
was
So
definitely
you're young, you're younger, and you want what do you want?
I want your advice on what you think I should do to get the lifestyle I want.
I don't know what lifestyle you want. So let's start there. How old are you?
23.
And what do you want to be married?
Yes.
You want children?
Yes.
How many?
2.
Two. You know what comes next? Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with the first child?
I would not like to pay significant bills.
All right. And do you live in the northeast, south, or west of the country?
Right now I live in the West, but I'm from the South. That's probably where I'd go back to.
Okay. Um, so how much would a man need to take? How much would a man need to make to fund the kind of lifestyle that you and your two children? How much would he need to make annually to provide the kind of lifestyle you want?
I would like minimum 300,000 a year.
300, and that's like Atlanta dollars. Okay. So, what kind of men make that kind of money? What do they do? Just some
Um,
professions.
Athletes, CEOs, doctors, lawyers.
Okay. Athletes. Let me go ahead and turn this. Athletes, CEOs of what?
Um, I don't know actually. I don't know.
Well, see, that's part of the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can identify what you want, but when I'm starting to ask you to fill it out,
Mm-hmm.
it starts to get vague. What are
Well,
some of
yeah,
the, what are
I
some
don't
of
have.
the give me some what are some jobs that you think well how about this? At what age do you think a man starts making around $300,000 or more?
30.
30. All right.
Yeah.
What's the oldest man you've ever dated?
Um, Early 30s,
What early 30s meaning 31 or what?
like 35.
All right. So, number one, and what percentage of men earn $300,000 or more in this country?
I'm not sure of the number.
Less than 5%.
Okay.
So it sounds to me that you really don't have a firm grasp on reality of men and earning in this country. Because the first thing that came out of your mouth was athletes. That's concerning to me.
Well, I didn't mean if they were, husband material.
But when I asked you, but it's still concerning. Uh, and then CEOs. See, you have to understand what it is you want and the reality of getting it. You
Okay.
want an exceedingly small group of men,
Mm-hmm.
and and men don't start earning that kind of money until their late 30s. Between 45 and 55 is when men earn that kind of money, not early 30s.
Okay.
So, would you want to be married to a man who's 45?
Preferably no. We probably would clash.
Why?
We have different interests.
What do you mean?
I feel like he probably would be a little bit further progressed than me, and we wouldn't be able to see eye to eye on things.
What does he need to see eye to eye with you on?
Say that one more time.
What does he need to see eye to eye with you on?
I mean, well, let me rephrase that. I feel like we probably wouldn't have that much chemistry because I have talked to guys around that age, and I feel like um, we just don't have as much chemistry.
I don't care about
Like I
chemistry.
have to put certain parts of myself away to be more
Ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about. Chemistry, what does that mean?
like I don't know, just the younger. I have to be more mature and more like less youthful. Does that make sense?
Nope.
I would feel like I would be less of myself, less youthful, less.
I gotta be really direct with you then.
Go ahead.
Then date men, then you don't want to look, sweetheart,
Go ahead. Tell me.
you're not the asset. He is.
Hmm.
You see, you guys want it all. You want chemistry and love and connection. When you want a man who's making $300,000 a year, so you don't have to work, I got news for you. You are going to have to get on his program. So if you got to put up the whatever the youthful stuff is, that's the cost of entry to get a man who's earning that kind of money. If not, go deal with a guy who's 26 years old or 27 years old making $50,000, $70,000 a year, and you got to work.
Okay.
Because what I'm hearing from you is you don't seem to understand. Number one of the problems in our community is we prize youth. Black people value and prize youth. When I say dating older, it in our community, it's like a taboo. In other communities, it makes perfect sense, especially if you want a higher standard of living. You have to marry a man who is earning that. Look at your president. How many years older is he than his wife?
Are you asking me?
Huh?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, Donald Trump is how many years? About how old do you think his wife is?
I don't know. 40, 50?
She's not 74, and that's the point.
Okay.
So
So what do you recommend I do?
I don't think you're gonna. How tall are you?
5'9",
Dress size
4 to 6.
4'2", 6".
Mm-hmm.
How much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
157.
All right. I don't think you'd be really cut out for the kind of man you're talking about.
Why?
Because one, you are going to have to get on his program. He's not going to get on yours. Chemistry, all these other kind of things. That's love talk. That's for young people. That's not for women who want to be, huh?
No, I'm listening. Go ahead, sir.
You want physical shit, and you can have that,
I
but it's gonna be struggle love. You want to be
no
taken
no I
care
won't.
of. You want to be taken care of.
Yes.
Then that means a man who's making that kind of money, he's gonna have to be at a certain place in his life. And here's the thing: what is he gonna need from you? And it sounds like you said you're gonna clash, and I'm gonna tell you why you clash, because you wouldn't know how to uh, serve a man at that level. How have you ever served a man?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Where?
I mean, I'm from the South, so we kind
I
of
don't
are
know, ma'am. I
raised
don't know. I'm just as a 23. What's your longest relationship?
year and a half.
How old was he?
You're not gonna like it. He was young. He was my age. It was years ago.
Okay, and how long ago? Years ago, ma'am. You're 23.
It was when I was 20, but I haven't dated anyone my age since I was 20
Why? Okay, why not?
because I want to be taken care of.
Yeah.
I was more asking if
Okay.
like I could have someone that I enjoy spending time with.
I
I
don't.
don't have
Okay,
to
but
pretend.
what I'm trying to explain to you is,
Yes, sir.
I, your mindset
What?
seems to be set up incorrectly. Okay,
Okay.
it's not about what you want. It's what
Okay.
value can you deliver to a man who's in the top 5% of earners? You're competing
Okay.
with the women around him. That's what
Mhm.
you're competing with. You're competing with women who are already, you're competing with all the women who don't want to work. What are you bringing to the table at 20 that's different than those women? And so
Okay.
when I hear, talk about chemistry and uh, things you'd have to sacrifice, you're already in the, dating a guy at that age is one thing. Yeah, guys will date you, the
Mhm.
possibility of sex, but marrying you now, because it doesn't sound like you're really in it for anything other than what you want. You want to be taken care of. Okay, what is he gonna get for taking care of you?
What
What is
should
he
he
gonna?
get?
Hmm?
I mean, the
What
agreeableness, right? That's what you always say. The agreeableness and the
agreeableness is standard
fit,
though.
fitness.
Okay, agreeableness is standard.
Okay.
The so sex is standard. Children standard.
Hmm.
Agreeableness is standard.
Hmm.
What is he going to get special about you that he cannot get from the dozens and hundreds of women who want a man on his level?
I don't know. We probably all are competing in the same way,
Exactly, which is why your mind isn't set up in the
which
right
is
way.
why I
So,
gotta settle for some things.
well, it's not settled. It's just you don't see. I need you guys to take this word settle out. This settle word is bothering you. You don't qualify for anything better. It's just like saying I settled to go to, University of Georgia when you wanted to go to Ivy League, but you didn't have Ivy League grades or Ivy League SATs. You didn't settle. You got them where you could get. And at 23, the kind of women who get a man, and do you care what race he is?
No, no, sir.
All right. So you said you dated a man who was older and you guys clashed.
No, we didn't clash. I just knew I had to be less of myself.
And what does that mean?
Like, he was a white guy, so,
Okay.
like, there were certain things I wouldn't talk about, certain
But
ways I wouldn't talk, like, certain
ma-
jokes I wouldn't make,
I
like,
don't know what
like, I
that
guess the
means.
childish things, like, I don't know, I'm
Cer-
more of, like, a funny, charismatic type, so I felt like I had to
Okay.
limit
Well, you had to be a grown up.
that. Yes,
Welcome to the world.
but I feel like I would have a more enjoyable time in the company of someone more like me. Is that wrong to, like, want someone of a high status who's, like, I can enjoy
No.
their company more?
Okay. Okay. You want it all. Listen to me very carefully. You cannot
How
have it
is that
all.
all? That's like a
All right.
simple thing, no?
No, it's okay. But you want him to make $300,000 a year. Pay attention. The man who's making, I don't think you ladies understand what it takes for a man to be at that level. And what you're saying is you couldn't be youth. That's exactly why, man. You are not ready. You're not really cut out for a man at that level. He's a
Mm,
serious man and he doesn't need a 23-year-old girl. He needs a
mhm.
woman. That's not an offense, but where are your woman skills?
Okay, I understand.
Do you?
Yes, sir.
What are your woman skills? How can you help a man who's 40?
Well, I guess being a helpmate, biblical terms, supporting, um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
The
And that's
the
why
the support second,
and the reason I
the
ask these
second
hard questions is because women, young ladies like yourself,
uh-huh.
to overlook the men that really would be a good fit for you emotionally
Uh-huh.
because you're looking for a money outcome. Ma'am,
Who do you think would be a fit for me emotionally?
uh look, yeah, I'm not done with this part of it because
Okay.
here's the reason I'm about done with it because I 72% of women in this country, mothers, have to work full or part time.
Mhm.
I don't know why so many black women don't want to work. And then you deliver nothing of value that's special.
Tell me what I need to deliver, and it'll be done.
All right. Destiny. Uh,
Hello, Kevin.
hello. I'm just. Oof. You would never work with a man like myself or a man on my level. You no way. I mean, let me do this real quick. Look,
Take your
I'm gonna
time.
hold on. Let me just tell you, you're cute, and you're probably
Mhm.
used to getting by on your looks, but that ain't special, sweetheart.
Okay.
And you cannot step to a man who's got his shit together, who's going somewhere in life, thinking you're the prize.
Okay.
Your attitude is wrong, and you're looking for a quick fix. Deal with men on your emotional level because you're not a woman. You're still in the girl phase. Girls need boys, women need men. That's why I
I
tried to
got
cut
you.
it down because even the way you're asking questions is out of line. And I'm trying not to check you because you're young. You're out of line for what it is you want. You don't qualify for it. If you didn't look the way you thought, where you look and you wouldn't be asking for what you're asking for. You'd be asking for a regular guy.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
You're still going. Go ahead, Destiny. You can ask a question so
Okay.
I can be done with it. Go ahead and ask your question. After, go ahead, young lady, ask your question, and I'll
Okay.
get under Destiny. Go ahead.
I don't want to be a little girl who needs a little boy. What do you recommend I do to qualify for the men that I want?
This is where the school's going to come into play. You guys are going to have to go learn how to do all this stuff because unfortunately you didn't learn when you were at home in the community. You didn't learn it. So I don't begrudge you, but where'd you go to college?
Didn't go.
You didn't go.
No, sir.
All right. Well, so you graduated high school.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you live?
I live in Los Angeles.
With who? Do you live by yourself?
Yes, sir.
Who you live with?
By myself.
All right. You don't have to go to school for it because I don't know you didn't learn it, and I can't, and I don't want to get too much further into it. If you didn't go to college, that's a whole range of people around your age and dating that you missed out on. So going straight from high school, it's going to be really hard for a high school, and I mean, and so it's going to be real hard for a high school graduate to be talking about a man in the top 5% of earners.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff. And if you want that, I don't know why you want it, other than the fact is you don't want to work, but you don't get it just because you want it. You have to earn it and deserve it before you get it.
I'm going to college.
I never mind. I don't even. Never mind. Because never mind.
I don't
Thank
understand, ma'am. You
you,
were talking about
Mr.
high
Kevin.
value men and confidence.
I just was saying once upon a time, because I'm 33, so it's like I met quite a few men in my time. It's just the type of guys that I actually like. If when I get them, I don't know. It's like I believe. It's not saying that I believe. I know it's a confidence thing because it's like it's not that I can't obtain it or I can't get it. It's I
What do you
had
mean
it.
by high
I
value?
have it
What do you
now.
mean by what do you mean by high value? Are you talking about the kind of money these guys make?
Just I'm it's actually, sir, it's not even about the money. It's about the mentality. I like I like alpha males. I really
You like
do.
alpha
That's just
male.
my thing.
Okay. Do you have any children?
I have one son.
Oh,
That,
okay.
and I had him at 27. I'm 33.
And high value men tend to make on the higher side of the income bracket too.
Yes, this is true. I'm not denying that.
So you're looking for a man that's like a 6-figure guy?
He don't have to be 6 figures. All I'm saying is that I just want someone that has class, that has value, basically.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. It's not even about a money thing.
Well, where's the father of your child?
He's around. He's around. He helps. He take care of his son. There's nothing wrong with that. He's definitely not the issue. He's a good person. He's a good
But
person.
why aren't you guys together?
All I can say.
Was he a high value man? Was he a high value man?
Very valued. He's valued.
No. No.
Very.
He was. Say again. He was very valued.
He's he's in my eyes. To me, he's high value. He has his stuff together. He's he's a good man. He is. He's a great man. But
So
for
whoa.
me,
But if he's a high value man, and he's a great man in your eyes and has his stuff together, and you already have a baby with him, why are you out here trying to find another one? Why don't you just get with the one you got?
well, sir, I mean, he said that I was too good for him, like I was too nice, basically.
Okay.
He, in my eyes, he prefer more girls that kind on the hood side. I'm not exactly that. I like to hold conversations. I like to learn things. I like to do things. He's not quite that type of person, which I
So
knew
why did you
then.
give him?
It's
So
just
why
at
did
the
you give
time
him?
when
Hold on.
I met him.
Right. Then why did you give him a baby?
Well, honestly, I kept him because I honestly
Why did you
didn't think
give
I could
him a?
have
You,
child. I'm
no.
listening.
You gave this man a child, and I'm asking you, why did you have a baby with this man if he wasn't? See, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth.
Okay.
Why'd you have a kid with a man who ain't worth being with?
Honestly, I had a kid because I didn't want to have an abortion, and I was old enough and kind of doing, good enough to have him. I mean, we were good, but once the baby came, he just kind of flipped. I don't want to. Yeah,
Okay.
he kind of flipped
All right.
basically.
All right, ma'am. The reason I ask you is because you came on talking about confidence and changing and high value, and you're all over the place. I'm just not getting it. And and again, another one,
All
another.
I was saying, just to answer.
Well, you can't answer
I'm sorry.
the question you were answering, ma'am, is see, when your life is chaotic like this, it's hard for people to take your opinion seriously.
Okay, that's fair.
Ladies, people are calling in to get advice and are listening to a woman who says she confidence and this and that and can change, and but you're not doing it in your own life. I want a high value man. I want an alpha male. All right. What about your ex? Well, he's a good man and a great character. Well, why aren't you with him? Well, because he ain't that. What?
Well, no, he
No,
said, well,
ma'am. No,
sir, he said that
I've heard enough. I've heard enough. I've heard enough. I've heard what you had to say. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and that's okay. But I would say this: high value men have something to do with income first. And men of a certain status do not want to be a stepfather to a woman who is a baby mama.
okay.
You're not a widow. You're not a divorcee. You're a single. I don't call them single mothers. I call them baby mamas. And high value men
Okay,
do.
that's fine.
Hey guys, it's your girl, that's Bella News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Love you all. For those who have been commenting, I say mashallah because you've been doing a great job for me, not a disservice to me. Yeah, so we are still continuing with the Kevin Samuels series. Before we proceed, let's give respect to the film legend, Papa Kevin Samuels, for his good work he has done to the community and for bringing out the picture of the Black Women Society. It's not easy to deal with our gender, but I think at the end of the day, it's easy to work upon them. So today we are commenting on these videos, but may his name stay forever and may his legacy stay forever because he has more amazing videos and more amazing work. We talk about feminism, marriage, divorce, kids, how to raise kids, how a single mom should behave to their kids, how a educated person should behave to their kids, because I don't believe that most of them who come in here they are well versed or trained, because you find someone with zero respect, you come in and you cut off the person explaining to you, or the person you've come to give you knowledge about anything, and you cut them off and you feel like this is the right path you're taking. So at the end of the day, you find it very difficult for these guys to coordinate in one way or the other. So I think I would say Kevin Samuels, I would rate him for his good work. So we are going to look at these ladies. They look so confused and they don't know what to do, what is really next. Someone comes in and is like, I have kids, or a kid with I had a kid with someone, but I think we sat and be like, this is not going to work out, let's chill it. And uh in quotes, I've learned that ladies become so selfish when it comes to breaking out with their baby daddies. Someone goes in and gets a kid with that man, then afterwards they come and say like, he wasn't my type, he wasn't my class, he wasn't this, without looking at their kids. How are the kids going to live without a mom and dad? So in the long run, or in the process, you find them being separated with their dad because of weird character, or because of weird situations and weird things of whatsoever they are going to do. So at the end of the day, you find it disorganizing and disrespectful for the kids to just end up breaking up just like that. So I would say many ladies they mess up when they are trying to separate with the kids or with the baby daddies, and they end up forgetting their kids out. They leave their kids out without knowing what they are really supposed to do with their kids. So at the end of the day, you find it difficult for these guys to really bring out the picture of a family, to bring out what they really want or what they have to do. So guys, I think I would say, ladies, let's try to improve, let's try to work out on ourselves, let's try to stand as ladies, let's try to not okay. I would like to say, let's fight divorces. They shouldn't be many. Let's fight single motherhood, let's fight single fatherhood, because you at times you can find someone speaking out of the blue, and the reason why they are separating is just messed up, or the statements they are doing, they are just picked up messages, and this is not the reality. You find someone because of their selfishness, that's how they end up separating or killing one another, because of selfishness and what they are not supposed to do. So at the end of the day, you find ladies crying, but at the end of the day, if you to look at why they are crying, it's because of their weird characters and their issues around what they portray to their families, what they portray to their kids, what they you know there is no actually, ladies, I'm a lady too, but let me say, there is no way a man is going to give you respect if you don't respect that man. I want you to put this in mind. If you're a lady, you should respect your man. That's how the man is going to earn respect to you, and that's how the family is going to be. But if you want equality, I'm not believing in the things of saying I should be like a man. You can never be like a man, and that's why the man is the head of the family, and you should respect the man. That's how the family will move. And if you don't respect your man, there is no way how your family is going to move together, how you're going to move together in one way or the other. So at the end of the day, you find everything being a mess, and you still brought it. And don't tell me that these guys are the same. You're not going to move out from your good daddy, baby daddy, and you think you're going to get high value men who will treasure you when you're already a second hand. I know that word annoys a lot of ladies, but the value they will give to a person who's marrying first with no kid is not the same value they're going to give to you who has a kid. Because if you go with a kid in marriage, you have to sit and explain, yeah, I have a kid and this and so on. So at the end of the day, you end up being left out. You end up planning to go back to where you were, but because of your disrespect you put first, you cannot go back and say sorry to your baby daddy. And at the end of the day, you end up missing everything and you end up spoiling everything. So and you end up just like that in a cycle whereby you become a single mother and you start. There's a way made ladies console, yeah, single life is better. No, 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 that's a lie. I don't advise it, and I wouldn't love someone to take that route because it's just trash. It's just trash. People will underlook at you. They will see you as a used material. Am I right? So I think that brings us to the end of today's video, and stay tuned. Bye bye. Love you all, my guys.